Our story today is called The Sour Plum Trick Long Ago. In the scorching summer of ancient China, a brave general named General Cao, he was leading his army through a long, dry journey. The sun was blazing like a fireball in the sky, and the soldiers were hot, tired, and very, very thirsty. Their water bottles were nearly empty. The rivers had dried up, and no matter how far they marched, not a drop of water could be found. General Cao, one soldier gasped, wiping sweat from his dusty face. "We can't go on much longer. We're dying of thirst." Another moaned, "My tongue is as dry as old bamboo. My lips are cracking." General Cao, riding on his mighty black horse, looked around. His army had thousands of soldiers. They couldn't just stop in the middle of the wilderness. He had to think of a way to keep them going. But what could he do? There really was no water. Suddenly, an idea popped into his mind, a clever trick that didn't need even a drop of water. He turned to his men and shouted, "Soldiers, just beyond the hill lies a forest full of sour plum trees, sour plums." One soldier asked, blinking. "Yes," General Cao said, with a grin. "Big, juicy, mouth-watering plums. So sour your mouth won't know what hit it. I can already taste them now, can't you?" The soldiers looked at each other. Some raised eyebrows. Some licked their dry lips. Others began to imagine the green, shiny fruit dripping with sour juice. Then something strange happened. Slurp, one soldier swallowed loudly. Another wiped his chin. "I think I just drooled," he said. "I can almost taste the sourness," laughed another. Their mouths began to water just by thinking of those plums. Even though there were no plums yet, their brains believed there might be. It was enough to trick their bodies into feeling just a little better. Their tongues felt cooler, their minds felt sharper, and their legs felt less like noodles. With a cheer, they picked up their gear and marched on with new energy. General Cao smiled to himself. His trick had worked. He had used the power of imagination to stop thirst at least for now. Among the troops was a young man named Ming. He was only 16 and had just joined the army. He was clever, curious, and loved asking questions. "General Cao," Ming asked later that night, "how did you know that thinking about plums would help us feel less thirsty?" General Cao chuckled and sat down by the campfire. "Ming, the mind is more powerful than you think. When people imagine food, their bodies react. Just thinking about sour plums makes your mouth create saliva. That helps fight the dry feeling in your mouth. So it's like a brain trick," Ming asked. "Exactly," said General Cao. "It's called using your imagination to change how you feel. It doesn't solve the real problem forever, but it buys you time." Ming was amazed. He never knew the brain could help the body like that. He decided to try the trick again next time he was hungry or scared. The next morning, the soldiers were marching again. The sun was still hot, and the path was still dry. But the memory of sour plums kept their spirits up. Some even made jokes about it. "Hey, I see a plum," one joked, pointing at a green rock. "No, mine has sugar on top," laughed another. Even though their journey was tough, the soldiers kept smiling, thanks to that one clever idea. Later that week, they finally reached a village with a real river. The water was cool and fresh, and they drank until their bellies were full. But even then, they didn't forget the time when they drank sour plums with their minds. Ming grew up to become a great commander himself. He would often tell his young soldiers the story, "When I was your age, I was dying of thirst. But our general told us about plums, just plums. We couldn't eat or drink them, but it gave us the strength to go on." That's how powerful the mind is. His soldiers would listen with wide eyes, and Ming would finish with a smile. So next time you feel like giving up, try thinking of something juicy like sour plums. You'd be surprised what your brain can do. The story of General Cao and the plums became so famous that people created a wise story from it. So it literally means thinking of plums to stop thirst. But the deeper meaning is, when you're in a difficult situation, using your imagination, clever thinking, or a little hope can help you keep going, even when things feel impossible. It's like using your brain as your superpower. Moral of the story: sometimes we can't fix a problem right away. Maybe there's no water, no food, or no perfect answer. But if we stay calm, think smart, and use our imagination, we can find ways to keep moving forward. Just like General Cao used the idea of sour plums to help his army, we can use creative thinking to cheer ourselves up, stay strong, and never give up, no matter how hot the day or how dry the road. So next time you're stuck, tired, or just feeling down, remember this magical trick. Close your eyes. Imagine something juicy, delicious, and full of hope. Maybe it's a plum, maybe it's your favorite fruit, or maybe it's just the smile of someone cheering you on. I was in the army a few years back. I had to constantly go to training and being away from home for months. When I had a tough time, what kept me strong is thinking about once all the training are finished, I get to go home, see my family and friends, eat my favorite food, and maybe just doing nothing and relax for a bit. So I guess homecoming was my sour plum. During my training days, your mind is stronger than you think. The end.